feel-good food is chocolate and macadamia muffins. These are really awesome sweet treats, but they're gluten-free. So if you're looking to cut gluten out of your diet, these are perfect.
We've also got an option if you want to make them lacto-free as well.
Now we've got coconut flour and almond flour and some cocoa powder. And then wetter ingredients, we've got banana, lime, egg, coconut oil and honey. Plus for texture, chocolate and extra nuts. So we're going to take our macadamia nuts to start off with, roughly chop those on a board into slightly smaller pieces and then toast them off in a pan so we get a nice golden colour and that awesome smell. You don't have to use macadamia nuts, you could go with other nuts, walnuts, peanuts, cashew nuts. We've gone for macadamia because it works really nicely with the chocolate and lime.
Sometimes think that people feel that nuts are really bad because they're kind of high in fat and they steer clear of them, but actually they're really good for you, aren't they? They're good fats.
They are good fats. So what you've got is natural fats that are essential for your body and your body needs them. So if you can put them in your diet, everyone wins. If we can just bungle those into the pan. And a gentle heat, Jamie, you're in charge of those.
Fantastic.
Just give them a sort of bit of a shake every so often so they don't burn. Now we can do all of our dry ingredients. So what we've got is coconut flour and almond flour.
I've never heard of coconut flour.
No, me neither.
No, it's a bit unusual. It's a bit like almond flour or almond meal or ground almonds, but you can get it in most supermarkets now in kind of the health section or a whole food shop, something like that. So you can get hold of it pretty easily nowadays. Some cocoa powder as well. Obviously that's what's going to turn this dish chocolatey.
My favourite bit.
And some baking powder, okay, and that's going to give the raising agent to this dish. You can just give that a quick stir up.
Yeah.
There does seem to be this perception that if you're looking for stuff that's gluten-free or lacto-free, baked goods don't really deliver on the flavour or texture.
Not what we might traditionally expect a cake to be. It's slightly denser. You haven't got the gluten there to hold the structure, but you can still come in full of loads of flavour, keep them really moist with things like the banana, so they're really still amazing to eat. They're just not necessarily the sponge that you might associate with a cake.
I suppose that makes it all the more important to cook things fresh, because then you get that kind of lightness from having just cooked it, rather than it sitting in some plastic on a shelf for 2 weeks.
Exactly that. And these ones, when you taste them, they are so much better, still warm, fresh out of the oven. They'll last a day or so, but because there's no preservatives in there, beyond that, homemade products go a bit more stale, but these are beautiful when they're fresh. Next up, some of our wet ingredients. So Jamie, if you can crack 2 eggs into the bowl, and we can add the zest and juice of a lime, so full-on flavour here. And then Ruth, if you can grab our coconut oil.
I can.
That all needs pouring in there as well.
This is getting quite a reputation, isn't it? It's getting quite famous, this coconut oil. I keep seeing it in magazines and getting celebrity endorsements for hair and skin and there's body lotion and stuff.
And we're going to put it in food.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to put it in our cake instead of butter or oil that you might put in a carrot cake or something like that. This is the oil we're going to use. So that can go in there. It's the fat content, but again, it's lacto-free. And we need to also add a sweetness from honey. So we're not adding any sugar into this in terms of white sugar, caster sugar, brown sugar. It's a natural kind of honey that we're using, nothing refined. So that can go in there. We're on about 60 ml, which is the same volume as our coconut oil, and that will go in there. And because the oil was in the jar, it will slide out nice and easy.
These are all really brilliant kind of health ingredients, aren't they? Typical health ingredients, honey and coconuts, nuts.
And not just healthy, but full on with flavour as well.
Yeah.
Everyone adds another level to this muffin. We've got 3 bananas. Just peel those.
Yeah.
If they are a little bit bruised, we can always get rid of those bits. The great thing is this is awesome for using up bananas that you might not want to eat. And then just with the back of a fork, mash it up until you've got yourself a puree.
You can actually freeze the bananas, can't you? When they get too ripe, just peel them, stick them in a freezer bag, freeze them, and then just defrost them just before you need them.
Yep, or you can even leave them in their skin and it will stop them oxidising as well. So when they come back out having been frozen, they won't go brown. So really handy tip. So I'm going to add some coconut flakes to Jamie's nut pan. Okay, you can see those macadamias have already got some golden colour. One more flavour, an awesome vanilla extract, so about a teaspoon of that.
Does it matter what quality of vanilla extract that you use?
Yes, if you can, go for the higher quality, the extracts, because that's taken from vanilla pods, whereas essence is a synthesised chemical that tastes and smells very similar. Okay, so try and get the extract if you can, much, much better. The final stage to mix all of this together, so our banana puree in here. We can clear the rest off the floor later. There we go. Give that a quick whisk, and then you can do exactly the same as we put the wet ingredients into the dry.
The thing is with muffins that you'll buy in a shop, that sometimes they are very light, but they just taste very sugary. So what they're lacking in the texture, they're very light in texture, but it's just sugar that you're tasting, isn't it? There's
and
no
this
real
one,
goodness
I
in
guess,
it.
is the other way around. Okay, so they're slightly denser, but really moist because of that banana. You have got baking powder in there, but you're full on flavour. You're building up
like
these
banana
layers.
cake in a way, so
Exactly.
it's lovely and moist, but it's dense.
We've added our nuts in there as well, and now all we need to do is spoon all of this into our muffin tin. Now, the muffin tins are just lined with a little bit more coconut oil to make them non-stick. At this stage, the muffins are gluten-free and lacto-free.
Okay.
But if you want to add an extra little twist, we've got some beautiful dark chocolate there. If you cut that up into chunks, and we'll make half and half. This is a strong, like 80% cocoa, dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate is brilliant for you, isn't it? So it's actually the sugar in like milk chocolate that you're tasting and not really the cocoa solids, whereas this is really tasty and you only need a tiny amount.
Quite bitter, but because you've got the sweetness of banana and the honey, perfect in these.
I think that it's an acquired taste though, isn't it? A bit like olives
It
and
is.
wine.
I love dark chocolate, and the stronger you can get it, the better.
Bung all those into our mix. So half with chocolate chunks and half without.
Know which I'm going for.
Now there's enough mix here to make 10 muffins in total. These can now go into an oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. They've had some time to cool, but now we can start to portion them up over here. Some without the chocolate, others with.
Amazing. What I love about these is that they don't have any refined sugar in them, which is something that I do try and avoid, but they're just packed full of really good for you ingredients. So you've still got the taste there, you've got the nuts, you've got the coconut oil. They just look amazing.
Well, they look great, but I guess we've got to taste them. So grab one, see what you think. There's one with chocolate in.
That's amazing.
Like so chocolatey.
It's really good, isn't it?
Really good. If you hadn't told me that that was gluten-free, I wouldn't have questioned it at all.
You don't need to, it's got so much else in it.
You know, it's so sweet as well, but it hasn't got any sugar in.
All natural stuff.
And antioxidants in the chocolate. Banana's really good. Good fats in the coconut and in the nuts.
Guilt-free.
That's a perfect sweet treat.
For the full recipe and ingredients, head to sortedfood.com.
And don't forget to subscribe to Body Talk for more feel-good food.